Hey, and welcome to this edition of Reason and Company. Ed Vitagliano, Abraham Hamilton III. Well, Abe, 80 years plus. That's how long Gallup has been surveying Americans' habits, trends. In this case, we're talking about church membership. They also do church attendance and a variety of other things. For the first time since Gallup started that poll, American membership in church has declined beneath 50%. Now, COVID probably had something to do with that, but it's clear that the trend downward had started before the pandemic. What do you think's going on?
Yeah, it's just another indication of the secularization that's happening in the country. Now, church membership isn't necessarily salvific,
Right.
but it is an indication as to whether or not people are investing themselves and committing themselves in a local church context. And what we see happening in our country is something we've seen happen in Europe and other places, that when you have this rapid secularization, this embracing of moral relativism and additional secular ideologies and things of that nature, it has a direct impact on the health of the church in the countries where these things happening. And so we see the things that have happened in other places, namely in Europe. It's happening here now in the United States of America, and it's sad, frankly.
Well, and to your point, it's also true that there seem to be a larger percentage of Americans who don't necessarily want to associate with a particular denomination. So they may not sign up officially on church rolls, but your point is, I think, absolutely valid, that this does hint at, or maybe indicate, a full-on trend where Americans are not committed to actual churches. They're taking a more personal, spiritual approach to religion, and that has the potential to do great damage to the Christian witness in our society, right?
Yeah, it does, and it's one of those things when you tie this in with Barna studies that show that the number of Christians who maintain a biblical worldview, that it's plummeting to really nauseatingly low numbers, then it's not that surprising to see things like not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together and anchoring ourselves with commitment in a local church context. We're seeing that diminish to a degree too.
Okay, so in addition to all the things you do here at AFA, you're also a pastor. Okay, quickly, what is the challenge for the church in this increasingly secular environment in which we find ourselves?
I think the challenge for the church is to rediscover the Great Commission, frankly, to recommit ourselves to making disciples. Yeah, making disciples is something that's not necessarily fanciful. You can't put it on a bumper sticker. And the most effective way to do so is in a one-on-one context. We have to reorient ourselves to that and commit ourselves further to that and take advantage of the spiritual environment to point the way to the one who said above himself, there's only one name under heaven by which men must be saved.
Amen. Well, folks, this article, some of the information that we covered here on Reason and Company can be found at onenewsnow.com. We recommend that news site. Go right to your email box and you'll get some of the big stories of the day for free. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Reason and Company.